evening. Good evening. Thank you. We have a live audience. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 22nd On the Nail reading organised by the Limerick Writers' Centre. Tonight I would like to welcome you all to our new home upstairs at Foley's Bar, and we are grateful to Declan Dillon for offering us this fantastic space where we can develop and present future Limerick Writers' Centre events. Tonight we are launching issue 20 of our literary journal, Revival. The journal has been going now for almost 5 years, and we would like to thank all those who supported it over that time by submitting poems, buying it, and also by being our patrons. A selection of readers will read their work in a few minutes. Also tonight we have 3 guest readers from Cork. We have Adam White and George Harding, and from Galway, Gary King. Also, if time allows, we will have an open mic for anyone who wants to read. Please let Dominic know if you want to read before it begins in approximately an hour's time. Also, I'd like to draw your attention to our book table. There are books by local and guest authors, so please browse through them, and if you like, show your support by buying one. Also tonight we present our new feature, the 10-minute play, brought to you by Gower Theatre Company, who will be presenting Privilege, written by Fiona Clark Etchin. Gower Theatre Company will be presenting work by a number of new playwrights over the coming months here upstairs at Foley's Bar, Limerick's new home for live music and the arts. Now I'd like to ask Gary King to launch Revival. Gary King.
Thanks very much. It's my great pleasure to be asked actually to launch Revival, which I believe is issue 20, and I think it has about 30 writers. And as was just said there, it was I think it's going since 2006. And I'd like to commend Limerick Writers' Centre on the excellent production and the excellent work they have done on Revival. It's not easy to kind of keep literary magazines going. It's not easy in the best of times, and obviously these are not the best of times, and it's very hard with finance and again getting things printed up and everything. And I remember when I started out writing myself about a decade ago, it was hard to get my work submitted. Like in Galway, we now at the time when I started out, we didn't have many regular stable magazines going at the time. I mean, a few kind of came on the scene. There was a magazine, The Burning Bush, which kind of caused a lot of controversy at the time. And at the moment, I think there's just Crannog. I mean, I'll probably be killed for maybe leaving someone out. And the Arts Centre used to have West 47, but I think that magazine is online now. But Revival, I think Revival is an excellent magazine. It's an excellent journal. And I see from looking through it, there's many kind of familiar names. There's Canute Skinner, who was read quite regularly in Galway, like at various events. So there's a lot of people I kind of recognise in here, and it's great to see kind of to have a magazine like this going, because it's great for writers to be able to have an outlet, to have somewhere to submit to, because that writing can be very, very isolating, and it's very hard when you're trying to kind of submit things everywhere. You're trying to submit maybe across to England or to the United States, but it's great to have a regular magazine like Revival that comes out, and as I said, it's lovely the way it's produced. And I had the pleasure actually of being published in Revival myself in early 2007, and it's important, I think, again, as I said, in these times, which are very difficult times, that local initiatives like this are supported, you know, because I think it's the way to kind of keep things going, it's the way to keep readings like this going, because I think when there is no support, obviously things kind of break up, and it's very hard. It's very hard, but it's great to see it. It's great to see issue 20 of Revival. So it is my great pleasure to formally launch it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gary. Our first reader, John Sanders.
Thank you very much, and good evening, and thank you very much for the invite. The poem I'm going to read is called Chamberlain's Forceps. Just in a few minutes I have just to explain the background to it. It's about 17th century, and it's about something that those of you in the audience who've given birth will fully appreciate. It's about midwifery. And believe it or not, in the 17th century, most midwives were male men. They dominated the business, and they were crude about it. They would fight amongst each other to get the business, so to speak. And anything that had the edge made them quite famous and quite sought after. And it was a very funny business. It was a very crude business. You can imagine a lot of people died. It's a terrible business, really, but it was dominated by male midwives. And these two guys, these two chancellors, I suppose you'd call them, in the 21st century, they invented something which became known as Chamberlain's forceps. And believe it or not, the forceps that's used now in the delivery of children under forceps delivery is the very same forceps, same design, same one. But they were very covetous about it, and they would hide the instrument. They wouldn't let anyone see it, particularly the mother. The mother never saw anything. So this business went on for a long time, and they eventually sold on the rights to it and made quite a lot of money. And of course they went on in history of having developed something that was quite unique at that time. Lots of other bits in the poem as well, which if I have time later on I could explain to anyone who's interested, but that's the bones of it anyway. So, Chamberlain's forceps. What force it took to wrench Dutch crowns free of the safe Corianic sack, as the quacksalvers clamp and draw, conspire to hide the tongues, fear discovery and reproduction, not found for 100 years. Peter the Elder and Peter the Younger play charades before the delivery. Deliver the forceps in an ornate cask, blindfold the labouring aspirant, while the Queen, herniated and prolapsed, lies untouched by medicine. The scope, fashioned of wood, the beat and breath of life echoed through trees. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John Sanders. Now we have Siobhan McNamara.
Thank you. This story is called Silver Lining. It's a modern little story, and perhaps a little reminder that maybe we should think a little bit about our values and what they really are. The dreariness of the day does little to dampen Michael's spirit as he exits the jeweller's, his precious parcel held protectively under his coat. Samantha and Michael, the inscription reads. He thinks Michael and Samantha would have been better being alphabetical. Still, it is a minor concession. He hasn't told Samantha that he planned to collect the rings today, as she wants him to surprise her more often. A silver Lexus is parked a few spaces up from the jewellery shop. Nice, but too extravagant, he thinks, enjoying a surge of proud satisfaction as he is reminded of the incentivised saving scheme that will grow to meet the cost of a proper education for his future offspring. The Lexus purrs into life as a woman crosses the street, head bent towards her chest to keep the rain from her face. Michael's thoughts turn to the semi-detached house that he purchased long before the dizzying rise in property prices and subsequent chaos caused by the collapse of the market. He envisages living there with Samantha and 2 or maybe even 3 children attending the nearby primary school in smart red and grey uniforms. The Lexus driver leans over to open the passenger door. As the woman sits into the car, they embrace, and she turns to reach for her seatbelt. Michael recoils, horrified, into the doorway. No, 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 he thinks, it can't be. But Samantha, his Samantha, is in a fancy car with a man with highlights in his messed up hair, The man tries to plant a kiss on her lips. To Michael's relief, she pushes him away. However, instead of reprimanding the man, Samantha laughs, and after glancing around furtively, offers him her cheek. The car pulls into the traffic and is swallowed by the lunchtime flow. Rain runs down the glass shop fronts. Michael wants to drop the parcel into the gutter to let the grimy stream carry it down the drain, through the sewer and off into a murky, waste-filled oblivion. The downpour loses its force and sunlight penetrates the dissipating clouds. Where a drop of oil lies on the road, a small rainbow appears. Michael returns the parcel to the protection of his coat, telling himself not to be so hasty. The wedding rings are solid gold, after all, a commodity that is rapidly gaining value. He calculates that he could turn a respectable profit in a few years, regardless of the redundant engravings.
Thank you, Siobhan. And now we have Claire Dollar.
Thank you. I just borrowed this book that I didn't get one yet. So I need to find what page I'm on. Page 25. This piece is called Listen. Listen to the sounds of freedom. French, liberté. Afrikaans, vrijheid. Catalan, libertat. Croatian, besplatna. Listen to the questions of freedom. Can I speak in my own language? An bhfuil cead agam caint I mar teanga féin. Gaelic. Can I dress as I please? Freedom. Zadarma. Czech. Gratis. Dutch. Tasuta. Estonian. Yapa. Finnish. Can I protest peacefully? Freedom. German. Vrijheid. Hungary. Ingenis. Icelandic. Okay peace. Italy. Free. Can I vote for my future? Freedom. Besnakis. Latvian. Nemokama. Lithuanian. Perkuma. Malayan. Darmoe. Polish. Can I be? Can I live? Can I love? Freedom. Romanian. Gratuit. Slovakian. Zadarma. Slovenian. Free. Spanish. Libre. Bure. Swahili. Ukraitis. Turkish. Mein Phi. Vietnamese. Arabic. Belarusian. Chinese. Russian. And many more words of freedom I cannot pronounce. I can listen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claire. Now we have Newt Skinner.
going to read is set in Killispugglenan, where we live, on a neighbor's field. Michael Healy has a holy well in his field, and it's been well over 200 years since there was any ceremony held there. But last December, for the first time in a period of time, there was one. Father Dennis Crosby had organized it. Michael Healy had cleared a path into it, gotten rid of all the weeds and bramble, built a semicircular wall around it, and made it ready. And I was asked to write a poem for the occasion. The Holy Well, Michael Healy's Field, St. Flannan's Day, 2010. We gather where they gathered before. Men, women, and children of Killispugglenan, through years beyond memory, traversed fields and barreens to stand where we now stand. They walked the circular path that we have walked, in homage to a sacred place. May they be with us today as we meet in renewal, adding our veneration to theirs. And may others in years to come stand where we now stand and walk the same circular path. And may the spirit of this well bless us and those who will follow.